Hello, story lovers, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we have a heartwarming tale about courage, love, and a little bit of magic. So get comfortable, and let's dive into the story of the Water of Life. Long, long ago, nestled among hills as dry as bone, there was a quiet little village. The sun beat down relentlessly day after day, and the rivers that once flowed with life were now just dusty memories. Water was more precious than gold, and every person in the village survived on just a few precious drops each day. In this village lived a kind-hearted boy named Leo. He shared a small, humble home with his mother, who was very ill. With each passing day, she grew weaker and weaker, her light dimming like a fading candle. Leo's heart ached to see her suffer. He sought the help of the village doctor, an old wise man with kind eyes. After examining Leo's mother, the doctor sighed heavily. "My boy," he said in a low, somber voice, "ordinary medicine cannot help her. There is only one thing that can save her now, the legendary Water of Life." Leo's eyes widened with a flicker of hope. "The Water of Life? Where can I find it?" The doctor looked at him with a mix of concern and admiration. "It is a perilous journey," he warned. "The Water of Life is hidden far, far away, deep within the treacherous Heart Mountains. And it is not unguarded. Powerful magic protects the spring, and many have tried to reach it, but none have ever returned." Leo looked at his mother, sleeping fitfully in her bed. Her breath was shallow, and her face was pale. The doctor's words echoed in his ears. Perilous, treacherous. None have ever returned. Fear pricked at his heart, but the love for his mother was a roaring fire that burned brighter than any fear. He knew what he had to do. With a determined look on his face, he turned back to the doctor. "I will go," he said, his voice steady and clear. "I will bring back the Water of Life for my mother, no matter the cost." The next morning, as the first rays of dawn painted the sky, Leo packed a small bag with a piece of bread, a small, empty flask, and a worn map the doctor had drawn for him from old tales. He kissed his sleeping mother on the forehead, whispering, "I'll be back soon, Mom. I promise." And with that, he stepped out of his home and began his long and dangerous journey toward the Heart Mountains. The path was difficult from the very start. The land was barren and cracked, and the sun was merciless. Soon the familiar hills of his village were just a speck on the horizon. He walked for days, his small supply of food dwindling. He met no one along the way, only the whisper of the wind and the vast, empty landscape. One afternoon, exhausted and thirsty, he stumbled upon a small, withered tree. Huddled in its meager shade was a tiny fox, its leg caught in a cruel hunter's trap. The poor creature was whimpering in pain. Other travelers might have ignored it, focused only on their own survival, but that wasn't Leo's way. He knelt beside the fox, speaking to it in a soft, soothing voice. "Don't worry, little one. I'll help you." Carefully, he worked to open the rusty jaws of the trap. It took all his strength, but finally the trap sprang open, and the fox was free. It licked its injured paw and then looked up at Leo with intelligent, grateful eyes. To Leo's astonishment, the fox spoke. "Thank you, kind boy," it said in a clear, bright voice. "You have a good heart. Where are you heading on this lonely road?" Leo, though shocked, explained his quest to find the Water of Life to save his mother. The fox nodded thoughtfully. "The Heart Mountains are a dangerous place, filled with illusions, but your kindness deserves a reward. I will guide you." The fox then trotted ahead, its limp barely noticeable, leading Leo through hidden paths and secret valleys that weren't on any map. With the fox as his guide, the journey became easier. The little creature knew how to find hidden springs of fresh water and bushes bearing sweet berries. After many more days of travel, they finally stood at the foot of the magnificent Heart Mountains. A towering, shimmering waterfall cascaded down the central peak, its spray creating a constant rainbow. This was the entrance, guarded by a powerful illusion. "The waterfall is a magical barrier," the fox explained. "It will try to trick your mind with your deepest fears. To pass, you must hold on to the love you have for your mother. Do not let fear consume you. Focus only on your purpose." Taking a deep breath, Leo stepped into the curtain of water. Instantly, the world around him changed. He saw terrifying visions. His mother growing weaker, the villagers scorning him for failing, monstrous beasts lunging from the shadows. His heart pounded in his chest, and for a moment he wanted to run. But then he remembered the fox's words. He closed his eyes and pictured his mother's loving smile. He thought of her stories, her warm hugs, the gentle way she cared for him. Love, pure and strong, flooded his heart, pushing away the fear. He walked forward, step by step, his focus unwavering. The terrifying illusions flickered and dissolved like smoke. Suddenly he was through. He found himself in a serene, sunlit cave. In the center, a spring of crystal clear water bubbled up, glowing with a soft, ethereal light. This was it, the water of life. Leo rushed forward and filled his flask. As he did, he heard a gentle voice echo through the cave. Only one with a pure heart, free of greed and filled with love, can pass the trial. With the precious waters secured, Leo and the fox hurried back. The journey home seemed to fly by. When he finally reached his village, he ran to his mother's bedside and gave her a few drops from the flask. Almost instantly, a miraculous change occurred. Color returned to her cheeks, her breathing became steady, and she opened her eyes, smiling at her son with a strength he hadn't seen in months. Leo cried with joy, hugging her tightly. But Leo didn't stop there. He took the remaining water of life and shared it with everyone in the village. A little went a long way. The sick were healed, the elderly felt young again, and even the dry earth seemed to rejoice. As if by magic, clouds gathered and gentle rain began to fall, filling the rivers and turning the brown hills green. Life returned to the village, more vibrant than ever before. Leo became a hero, not just for his bravery, but for his kindness and his willingness to share his miracle. He learned that the true magic wasn't just in the water of life, but in the love and courage that led him to it. Thank you so much for joining us for this beautiful story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a